All right, welcome back to the Explainer. Today we're diving into something that promises to fix, well, one of the biggest headaches in software development. We're talking about getting that deep visibility into your apps, but without writing a single line of code. The tool is called Grafana Beyla, and honestly, it might just flip how you think about observability on its head. So let's just think about this for a second. What if you could get all that rich performance data? I'm talking traces, metrics, the whole shebang from your live services, and you never, ever have to touch your source code. I know, right? If you've ever been stuck in that slog, spending weeks manually instrumenting an app, that probably sounds like pure fantasy. But stick with me, because as we're about to see, it is very real. Okay, so let's just call it what it is, the observability headache. Look, getting visibility into modern software is absolutely critical. But let's be honest, the whole process can be such a pain. That manual grind of adding observability code, it's always been complicated, it's slow, and it's just full of friction. Yeah, I'm guessing this list right here looks painfully familiar to a lot of you. You've got the manual code changes. Then there's the hunt for the perfect library for every single framework you're using. And the maintenance, the ongoing maintenance. See, this instrumentation stuff isn't just a one-and-done cost. Nope. It becomes this other piece of software you have to constantly debug, and it just inevitably grinds the whole development cycle to a crawl. But what if we could just skip all that? Just bypass it completely? Well, this is exactly where Grafana Beyla comes in. And it's not just another tool. It represents a really fundamental shift in how we even approach instrumentation in the first place. So what is Beyla? Well, at its core, it's this super powerful tool that uses a Linux kernel technology called eBPF to automatically instrument your applications. And because it spits out data in open standards like OpenTelemetry, you're never locked into a single vendor. But the real game changer, the headline feature, is right there. Absolutely zero code modification required. None. Okay, so what do you actually get right out of the box? You get the essentials. Beyla automatically serves up those 3 golden signals for service health. We're talking rate, errors, and duration, the red metrics. You immediately see how many requests are hitting your service, how many are failing, and exactly how long they're taking. That, plus transaction traces, that's the foundation you need to really understand how your app performs in the wild. And listen, this isn't just for some simple little web service. Look at this list. Beyla has native out-of-the-box support for a huge range of the technologies you'd find in any modern stack. We're talking HTTP, gRPC, SQL, Redis, Kafka, MongoDB, you name it. It just understands the language of your entire system automatically. So the big question, right? How is any of this even possible? How could a tool just sit on the outside, watch your application, and magically understand everything it's doing? Well, the secret, the magic, is that powerful kernel technology we've mentioned a couple of times now, eBPF. So let's actually unpack what that means. Okay, so the difference in approach here is it's fundamental. On one side, you have your traditional agents. They run inside your application's process, right? They're intrusive, they use all these language-specific libraries. But the eBPF approach that Beyla uses, it's completely different. It lives down in the operating system kernel itself. From there, it can safely watch system-level stuff like network traffic. And that's what makes it non-intrusive, language-agnostic, and why it has such a low system overhead. Honestly, if you only remember one thing about eBPF, make it this analogy right here. Think of it like a doctor's stethoscope. It lets you listen to the very heartbeat of your system, the system calls, the network packets flowing through. But you're doing it safely from the outside. There's no need to perform open heart surgery on your application's code. It's brilliant. But Beyla's story doesn't actually stop there. In fact, it's just getting started. In what is a really huge move for the entire open source community, the project has just gone through a major evolution. So here it is. The project has been officially donated to the CNCF. That's the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, home to giants like Kubernetes and OpenTelemetry. And now, it's being developed as a core part of the OpenTelemetry project itself, under a new name, OpenTelemetry eBPF Instrumentation, or OBI for short. Okay, so a project gets a new name, a new home, That's cool. But why does this actually matter for you? Why is this such a big deal?
Well, for a few huge reasons. First, this move cements what is now OBI as a truly vendor-neutral industry standard. That's a big win. Second, being governed by the CNCF means it's guaranteed to be community-driven for the long haul. You also get much deeper integration with the whole OpenTelemetry ecosystem, and honestly, it's just a massive vote of confidence. It's a sign that this project is mature, it's trusted, and it's here to stay.
And maybe the best part of all of this is just how crazy accessible this technology is. I'm not kidding. You can go from absolutely nothing to seeing live application metrics in just a few minutes. It really is this simple. Check it out. Step 1, just have your web service running on a port like 8080. Step 2, run the Beyla binary. You'll need sudo and just point it at your service's port. And step 3, go look at your data. Hit the Prometheus metrics endpoint. That is it. No code changes, no complicated config files. You are getting value, instantly. Okay, a quick heads up. There are a few key requirements to keep in mind. First, you'll need a reasonably modern Linux kernel, version 5.8 or newer, and it needs to have a feature called BTF enabled. Now, BTF, that stands for BPF type format. It's just some metadata that helps Beyla understand your system. And it's pretty standard on most recent Linux distros, so you probably already have it. You'll also need those elevated permissions, sudo or container capabilities, to load the eBPF programs. And finally, if you're running Go programs, just make sure they were compiled with Go 1.17 or newer. And just as a little fun fact, it's always interesting to peek under the hood and see what a tool like this is actually built with. As you can see, the project is overwhelmingly written in Go, like 84%. And that's really a testament to Go's power for building these kinds of high-performance system-level tools that make something like Beyla even possible. So, to wrap it all up, Beyla, which is now OBI, really does represent a breakthrough. It gives us a powerful, automatic, and totally code-free path to getting that deep application observability we all need. It just removes all that painful toil of manual instrumentation. Honestly, it's becoming an essential new tool for any developer's toolkit. And that brings us to a really fascinating final thought. When the barrier to entry for instrumentation becomes this low, practically zero, what new things are you going to discover? When getting this level of observability is this easy, what are the new questions you're going to start asking about how your systems truly behave under pressure? That right there, that's the real possibility this technology unlocks.